Hello everybody, this is Chiosuke here yet again with another StarCraft replay. So this time it's going to be me, the blue Terran spawning in the top left corner of abiogenesis? I don't know how to pronounce this map's name. Versus the Zerg buddy in the bottom right corner, going to be named just regular old Tyson. So this game was pretty back and forth, so I had a lot of fun playing it. So I thought I would share it with you guys. So in this matchup on this map, there's a few places where you can get Reapers up. Pretty much this entire area is a nice spot. Going to be placing my barracks slightly away from the depot wall because most of the time you don't have to worry about like super early Zerglings just running into your base, so you have that extra time to get the reactor or whatever add-on you want. I'm going to be getting my refinery here. I think I've been doing a 12 barracks and then 12 refinery. Also been trying to do a 12 refinery and or 15 refinery and then 15 barracks. I don't even know. Anyway, I'm thinking of the old build orders. The Zerg buddy is going to be opening up with a hatch in my natural expansion, which is always super fun. It puts up a lot of pressure. I have lost to this strategy before in Heart of the Swarm, and it is still a very fun strategy to pull off if you are playing as the Zerg player. So if your Terran opponent doesn't scout it right or doesn't have the proper reaction, then it can be very hard to deal with. So for now, I'm just going to start up a second barracks. I was originally going to be going for a factory, but in this situation, I favor getting a second barracks very early on, starting a bunker at my natural expansion as well, and pulling just a small handful of SCVs to kill off this hatchery. And with the bunker finished, I'm not too scared of what he can do, but when I faced this strategy in the past, they have, gone for a roach warren and then just had a few roaches. Roaches, especially since they don't take up a lot of larvae, is probably the more annoying thing. So he has successfully delayed my natural expansion quite a bit, and he is now just getting up his. He also did the little trick where if you cancel the hatchery, you have a little bit of creep, so he's going to be blocking my natural expansion with an evolution chamber. I don't know exactly what happened here, but you saw that I placed it and then it was cancelled, so I'm just going to assume some bad micro happened. So now my Reaper is going to be poking into his main base, see what's up. So I do see the extractor. I don't believe I clicked it, so I don't actually know how much gas that he's gotten. Going to be doing a little bit of microing here with my Reaper, going to be getting a single Zergling kill and possibly a drone kill since he kind of misrallied that and bring the drones back up, and I do. So he is going to be getting his third base as well. So pretty standard in TvZ nowadays is to just get like your third hatchery by like the 3-minute mark, and this was really bad by me, not microing this Reaper for no reason at all. Just losing all of that. So eventually going to get my natural expansion started, and since I kind of misrallied it, I was able to just build it properly without having to lift it up after it finishes. Opponent's Zergling speed is about to finish, and he did get a handful of Zerglings. So he has, what, 10 here right now? And they do have speed. I do have the bunker in my natural expansion, so it shouldn't be able to do too much damage. At the same time, I'm going to be going for my stim pack and just a handful of marines, since I didn't get to do my Hellion opening that I normally do. So he's going to send the handful of Zerglings into my natural expansion, but really can't get too much done. Tries to run up the ramp, but I closed my barracks, or raised the supply depot, and then finished that wall, and he loses a lot of Zerglings because of that as well. So I was pretty happy with that exchange. I did try and send a Marine earlier in order to scout out his third base because I don't believe, yeah, I only saw the natural expansion and it was still building, especially since I lost that early Reaper, which, again, pretty critical mistake. So I just don't know what's going on. So playing pretty in the dark here, going to be getting up my starport here and swapping the reactor onto the factory here, finally. Going to be getting a second tech lab. I think I might be wanting to go for Banshees on from my starport, but I don't exactly remember what I'm going to be doing. Opponent is going to be getting double evolution chamber, and so he's probably going to be getting double upgrades, only starting the +1 ranged attack. And I don't believe he has a Hydra Den yet, but I do remember him going for Hydras in this game. And there is the Carapace. So I don't exactly know what this drone is going to be building, but we'll find out soon. So Zerglings are just going to be retreating for the moment. There's the Hydralisk Den going up, going to be eventually poking down the Overlord that was right here. I'm not exactly sure why I could see this Overlord, but I know that I didn't need high ground vision. So free pick off there. Going to be not doing any damage of the Hellions and going to be losing one to some free Zerglings. And I do go for the Banshee tech here with that tech lab on my barracks. So going to be starting up my third barracks here yet as well. But I don't exactly have enough minerals in order to go for some of these marines that I'd like to build. So in the meantime, since he lost so many of those Zerglings to that attempt at a harass earlier, and he didn't rebuild any, I was able to get a nice set of drone kills there. 10 workers going to be going down so far, and I have a good handful of Hellions still out on the map, so he has to be careful about that. Going to be getting a nice amount of Hydralisks though, and he has not started the movement speed and range for his Hydras quite yet. Looks like he's getting one of them. I actually don't know if they split it between two Hellions, but in the meantime, the Hydralisks are going to be doing extremely well against my Hellion, so I'm going to have to bring that back. Banshee is now finished, so I am going to be sending it to the natural expansion of my opponent. In the meantime, Tyson just going to be going back and forth with these Hydralisks and trying to fend off against the Hellions, but in the meantime, his natural expansion is completely exposed to this Banshee route. I'm going to be going back and just retreating the drones. In the meantime, going to be able to get a couple of kills. Unfortunately for me, when microing the Banshee, it takes priority on the queens rather than the drones. So Overseer finishes up and he's going to be able to kill off my Banshee, which did get another set of kills, so now 16 workers have gone down. He's in the units tab though, he is still ahead of me in drones just because of how Zerg works. He has larva, I have to rely on this production, and I'm only on 2 bases at the moment as well, so even if I had more SCVs, it wouldn't necessarily benefit me in terms of income. Going to be now just starting my double engineering base, so my opponent is quite ahead of me in terms of upgrades. He does have +1/+1 for his Hydralisks, and I do not have anything for my Marines quite yet. Also kind of behind because I've been going for this Banshee tech. I don't have any medevacs, so this Bioforce is extremely vulnerable, so I can't stim quite as liberally as I would want to, or pretty much at all. Baneling Nest is going to be going up for my opponent, as well as the Infestation Pit, so it looks like I'm going to be pushing out across the map. Looks like I'm going to be trying to attack into his third base, and going to be just picking off a single drone that was going to expand. He does have a Spore Crawler in his third base though, so I can't really do too much at the moment. The positioning of these Marines is kind of scary, because if he pushed one of his creep tumors right here, then it could have seen this push coming. I actually don't know if I agree with this push right now. He doesn't actually have too many units at the moment in this area, so I'm able to get a few drone kills, or overlord kills, and a little bit of stutter step micro going to be picking off a large amount of his Hydralisks. And at the moment, I'm pretty happy, and I think that I'm in a really, really good position. It seems Zerglings do spawn, and because of this, it looks like he will be able to clean up my Marines. Again, just mainly because I don't have any medevacs with this little push, so I couldn't do too much damage. And I do have a single starport producing 1 medevac, but again, only 21 workers killed. I killed off his army, but he still has more workers than me. Going to be expanding to his 5th base as he has taken his 4th over right next to his natural expansion. Still not quite ticking up to high yet, though he does have the infestation pit done. I think it's mainly just because he's so gas starved because of how many Hydralisks and Banelings that he's producing. Also, he's missing a couple guys in his cast, but that could be just because he was pulling them off earlier to defend against the little Marine force I had. So going to be stimming up this ramp. I really should be trying to clear these group teams as well. Going to be pushing in, killing off one evolution chamber, but that one wasn't even researching anything, so that was pretty bad by me. Also, just the sheer number of Hydras, especially since they're 1-2, is pretty scary. And I'm not actually starting my +2/+2 either. Pretty bad mistake. But in the meantime, one of the Hydralisks goes down to a Widowmine shot. Going to be just repositioning this one dropship and again trying to move out on the map. So as I was playing this game, I realized that the Widowmines aren't really that great when they're going for Hydraling Bane. And it looks like I did lose that one dropship to this handful of Hydralisks as well. So fighting up this ramp was a pretty big mistake. You can see like a good half of my army didn't actually attack there for a moment. Tried to pull him down this ramp, but his micro and his decision making pretty good, so he knows not to go down that path. Eventually started my +2/+2. Opponent's now just getting centrifugal hooks, and he does have his 4th and 5th base up. Is he? Yeah, he's also making a few more drones and getting a lot more Zerglings as well. His hive is now roughly halfway finished, and at this point I'm just going to try and do whatever I can in order to prevent him from expanding any further. So I'm going to be doing a dual pump attack. I'm going to have my main army right next to his 3rd base, but a nice 2 medevac drop at his 3rd. So he does have his Banelings, and the centrifugal hooks has not quite finished up, but just with this position of the army and how well spread out his Hydras are, it doesn't look like this is going to go too well, especially since how many times I have stemmed my army. This army is extremely weak. Probably should have just pulled this back out left because I mean, everything is going to die. So I'm going to be picking up a few more drones in the main base, and I do see now that he does have high tech, and just with more workers killed, I killed off 40 drones so far, and pretty happy with the damage done here. I think I try and get out, but unfortunately the Tigers do target down the medevac that was full, so pretty big loss there for me. So he does have a couple more drones here. Looks like these were just from the larva from the hatchery that was here, so he's probably going to be re-expanding here shortly, and there it goes. I do have my 4th base finally up and running, going to be making that into a planetary fortress. With the amount of minerals that I have, I probably could expand over here as well and get another planetary fortress up, since it looks like he's just being super defensive, so I don't really have to worry too much about like counterattack, especially if I go for a planetary fortress right here. Then Lings and Hydras really can't do too much except for maybe skid across the back and then possibly get over here. But anyway, in the meantime, I'm going to just now be starting my +3/+3. I feel like this is like 3 minutes late or so, but my opponent does have a ridiculously large army of Hydras and Banes, and since I don't have that +3/+3 quite yet, we are still at equal upgrades. We're going to get a nice set of detonations on this Hydra Bane force, and with this arc it looks like I'm doing okay, but this set of Marines just wasn't doing too much. Fighting down this ramp is also not doing too great for me, but I do have this single drop out of this 3rd expansion. Going to be doing quite a bit of damage here for the moment. And at this point, I'm really not too happy because of just how large his army is compared to mine. This drop is going to pick off his 3rd base, but in the meantime, my natural expansion has got him to just the sheer amount of Hydras. So, Hydras can't really fight up ramps, and he knows this. So he's going to be going for my third expansion instead, but no, decides to turn around for a little bit in order to deal with the Marine God. That did do a lot of damage. Going to be targeting down the medevac, and with that, this push is pretty much stopped. I attempted to um, kill off some of these hydras and repair to save that command center, but that just didn't work. Also going to be losing pretty much my entire army again. So, again, feeling pretty bad. I do have a handful of Marines in my main base, and with that, I probably could have possibly warded this off before the reinforcing Hydras got here, but Hydras are just, they're really strong, they're really good. So I have to back up to my main base here yet again, and as you can see, I'm down to like 15 army supply compared to my opponent's 50. I still do have this expansion up. I don't believe my opponent still has not seen it yet. But even if he did see it, I don't know if he could do too much in order to attack into it just because of Hydras. I think they have the same range as the Planetary Fortress, but at the moment, since I did have a bit of a bank, I'm going to just try to mass up whatever I can. My opponent's going to be morphing in a large amount of banelings, so I'm like, oh, okay, well, can't really go down there, and now my +3/+3 is just about to finish. So now I do have +3/+3 compared to my opponent's just +2/+2. He does have his height, but he's been pretty scrap for minerals, especially in this low econ game. He now has up to 38 workers, and this engagement finally goes down again, losing my entire army to all those banelings. Going to be planting a couple of Widowmites in my main base just to prevent these Hydras from really doing too much. This was a mistake by me. Again, I tried to set my main base down to my third expansion because I needed those minerals, but I really can't do too much until I gather an army, and because of it, I'm sacrificing my main base for no reason whatsoever. Opponent is now just going to be starting +3 ranged attack for his Hydralisks, and going to be morphing in a few more banelings here as well. So I do have a single Reaper. Mistakes were made. And another hand set of Marines or handful and a couple of Window Mines here as well. So my opponent going to be pushing up. I actually thought he retreated back to his base, but he was still out and about on the map, so I'm going to be stimming up. I do plant one single Window Mine, and I'm going to be doing a little bit of damage here. Another Window Mine going to be killing off a couple of Windows, which I'm pretty happy about. But again, running into this little ram is pretty hard for both of us. Half of my Marines weren't attacking, but it looks like +3/+3 is going to just be saving me, especially with these medevacs, as you can see. He realizes it's a problem as well, so he's going to be killing or targeting them down with the medevac, or with his Hydralisks, sorry about that. Also going to be researching Adrenaline Glands. I see that he's retaken his fourth base and planted a lot of spine crawlers, but I realized the main purpose is just to try and kill all the drones that I can, so I'm going to be dropping behind it. I'm going to be targeting down one of these spine crawlers. The queen decided to stop attacking the medevac, which was really great for me. He's going to try to be massing up whatever units he can, and again, trying to focus down the medevac. I do a little bit of micro to go behind it, but with a little bit of stutter step, he was able to eventually clear this up. So, he does have 18 workers now, trying to reproduce a few more, and in terms of workers killed, this is just ridiculous. He's killed 46 of mine, I've killed 67 of his, mainly because I sacrificed all my SCVs over here. Trying to retake my natural expansion, rebuilding a command center. He has re-expanded to his third base as well. Going to see that I don't have my third base up, and now scouting out this planetary fortress, loses a Hydralisk fort as well. And in the retreat, I was able to pick off a few very critical Hydras, because in this low of an army game, it's pretty hard to really get anything. And he really can't go for Ultralisks, but if he did, I might have been in trouble, because +3/+3 rings versus fully upgraded Ultralisks don't do too well, especially if he's backing it up with some Adrenaline Lings and Banelings. I would have needed Ghosts, but I don't even have my Ghost Academy, and I don't believe I have the economy to support that either. So it's pretty much all brains from here on out. Opponent going to be morphing in a few failings, and I'm going to be going into his third base here yet again. His Zerglings don't attack with his main army because I was able to just kill everything. And again, the Banelings are just kind of rolling in one at a time, not all clumped up, and because of that, I don't even need to split, just kind of a move, which is very, very nice. Going to be eventually picking off his fourth base here yet again, and killing off the last of his Hydralisks. In terms of army, it is now the exact opposite of what it was before. My natural expansion is now back up and running, going to be killing off a few Hydralisks. This Sporkle are going to be doing a little bit of damage to my Medivacs. I'm going to be picking off the last few Hydralisks that spawn out. He says something in Korean. I have no idea what it means, but he has a little sad face here. So, regardless, super fun game. I thought I lost multiple times when I sacrificed my command center, when I had like only like 10 supply in army, but the drop over here that killed this base, the constant denying of this and this base, was just super fun, especially with the multitasking involved. I hope you guys enjoyed it.